Okay. Now, from the bottom of my heart for helping to make Season 2 of Live on Bowen possible, I'd like to thank Lisa Slogis. I love you, Lisa.
Am I on there?
Jess Cook. I love you, Jess.
I'm not seeing me on there.
Is it? Matt O'Mara. I love you, Matt.
When you wish
Hayman! Hayman! What are you doing?
The script said, loudly singing, Hayman sweeps onto the stage. I thought we'd end the season with a bit of a flourish.
I thought we should end with talking about ends as a philosophical concept. A great philosopher once said, every new beginning is another beginning's end.
But that's not philosophy. There's some lyrics from Poker Face, Lady Gaga.
It's not that at all, actually.
No. And besides, I think Voltaire said, anything too stupid to be said is sung.
Whoa!
All right, guys. Settle down. Settle down. Now, tonight on the show, we have star of My Kitchen Rules and Coxie's Big Break, Lee Chan. I love you, Lee. We also have the comedy from Simon Taylor. Love you, Simon. We also have Susie Blue with her wonderful music on the show. Now, I don't know you, Susie, but if I did, I bet you I'd love you, Susie Blue. So that's pretty much what's going on in the show tonight. Hayman, you can sing. Yes. Michael, you can philosophise.
Excellent.
And Dilruk,
Where is the
where is Dilruk?
Maybe he's just a concept of our imagination.
I highly doubt that. Maybe we should move on with the show. Let's start the show. Welcome to the final episode of Live on Bowen for Season 2. Or is it? No, it really is. It's been a big week in news, guys, and our beloved Bert Newton's in the news. And you may remember last year he went through a quadruple heart bypass. But the good news is he's now on the mend. Crowd participation, gotta love it. And, but he's now going to be starring in the new stage musical Grease, which is fantastic and also quite ironic, as Grease is probably what got him into the trouble in the first place. How's that song go? He's got pills, they're multiplying. His bladder's losing control. And the power his pacemaker's supplying. It's electrifying. We love you, Bert. It's been revealed the Victorians owe up to $1.2 billion in fines. Now, that includes speeding and parking. And can you just imagine how much money that would be if public transport wasn't free? In Canada now, in Toronto, Mayor Rob Ford has challenged and beaten Hollywood Hogan, or Hulk Hogan, in an arm wrestling contest. Now, our Lord Mayor, our wonderful Lord Mayor, has also challenged our icon, let's say, Paul Hogan, to a knife fight. Go Robert Doyle. That's not a knife, that's a key to the city. A report this week has revealed that Australians' biggest distraction at work is their own colleagues. Not me, though. Just shiny things. Oh, look, it's a shiny little bird. Four British tourists holidaying in Rome have been charged $82 for 4 ice creams, which is fair enough. I mean, Italy is the dessert capital of the world. Apparently all rocky roads lead to Rome. According to a recent study, 39% of people aged 18 to 25 call their mum at least one time each day. When they're hungry, they call Mum! And finally, the biggest news story tonight is it's the final episode of Season 2 of Live on Bowen, and in the absence of our Friday night date night together, I don't actually know what I'm going to be doing. Whether or not I will head to the Docklands to investigate that old haunted, that big wheel thing that they've got over there. Or maybe I'll figure out just how they do get that surprise into the Kinder Surprise. Or merely return to my lifelong dream of being the oil boy for the Brazilian bikini team. I do like to help people in need. Maybe you have a better idea. We're coming to you live from Bowen Street in the Melbourne CBD, so you can tweet and Facebook us if you have a better idea, and here's how you can do it.
Missed last week's episode because you were living under a rock? Or did you miss season 1 because your head was in the sand? Well, throw caution to the wind and visit our website at liveonbowen.com, or put in your 2 cents and jump on our Facebook or Twitter to join the conversation.
It's time for our last instalment of Caption This. Last week, we asked you to caption this picture. This week's response was so overwhelming, it was over the top overwhelming. Thanks to all those who got involved, and here is the final batch of winners. First up, we have Harry May with "When the mice are away on the couch, I will stay." Next, we have Robbie Vidler with his entry, "Oh yeah, YouTube has a new funny cats video." Then we have Jack Levitt with "Remote, check. Beer, check. Opposable thumbs, crud." Excellent use of the word crud, Jack. And our last Caption This winner is Amber Vidler with "Friday night, live on Bowen time." Amber, you win a warm handshake and a congratulatory pat on the back to claim your prize. You'll have to come along next season. Thanks to everybody who contributed in this season to Caption This. Next up, without taking the mickey, let's collectively wish upon a star and put our hands together as she presents a whole new take on Disney. It's Hayman Kent!
Thanks to Disney movies, I used to dream of growing up to be a princess. Unfortunately, I grew up a little too much and not enough princess. But looking back, I'm not sure I can trust anything Disney taught me. I grew up suspicious of my uncle for years, afraid he was going to push my dad off a cliff. I refused to go on nature walks with my mum after being traumatized by Bambi. I also learnt that holding children up in a maternity ward like Rafiki in The Lion King, you know the one, is frowned upon by mothers, nurses, and law enforcement. So I realised Disney must have been swindling us all along. Even the titles of their movies are misleading. Sleeping Beauty? She's asleep for a very small portion of that film. Shouldn't it be called Awake Beauty? Or Awake Average-Looking Girl? And animals are nothing like in Disney movies. Admittedly, it would be awesome to be dressed by them, like in Snow White. Although in Australia, it would be more like aggressive magpies trying to put you in sparkly clothes and wombats shoving thongs on your feet. Do you know, I went to Werribee Open Range Zoo because I wanted to get Mufasa's autograph. Instead, all I got was scars. And what about how Disney characters just break into song anytime they need to express their emotions? I mean, who would do that? It's just ridiculous.
Candy Crush, why can't I beat this level from in my seat? Sorry.
And everyone just assumes princesses need to be rescued. What if the princess was just trying to get some solitude up there in her castle? Maybe she was working on her latest novella. Maybe she's just actually quite a self-assured person who is happy with her own company. But no, here comes the prince, climbing walls and slaying dragons to rescue her. What if the dragon you just beheaded was her pet? Awkward. And it's not like watching Disney prepares you for any real-life situations. It's not quite as easy as, sorry, I'm breaking up with you. Why? Because you're literally a beast. At the end of the day, what kind of messages are Disney sending to kids? Hunchback of Notre Dame. The ugly dude never gets the girl. Cinderella. Don't make an effort. The universe will just hand stuff to you. Lion King. If you want to succeed, people have to die. And Beauty and the Beast. Just because he's abusive, it does not mean he's not a good guy. Disney. Who needs them? You can have your own Cinderella story, by which I mean waking up after a massive party, dressed in rags, missing a shoe, and sitting in a pumpkin surrounded by mice. Enjoy that walk of shame. So, Disney, you are going on my swindler's list.
Thank you, Hayman! Not all of us can grow up to be a Disney prince like me. Ribbit, ribbit. After the break, Michael's here to give us his final sermon of gonolosophy, and we go hunting for ghosts in Walhalla. You're watching Live on Bowen.
After the break, Rob takes us for a look around one of the most haunted towns in Australia. You're watching Live on Bowen.
Watch how